Greetings, good people. What's up? What's happening? My name is Dr. Clarence, and welcome back to TV7 Live, where we get to give you all the hottest and top trending topics, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. Now, what is the situation in Chitungwiza? Earlier on today, or later on today, we saw video clips making rounds on social media. Some of these clips, these are showing on the screen right about now. And the other clip here. All right, let us listen very carefully to the audio in the background here. And Anam Koma, these are the big brothers. And, you know, in Harare, there is a meeting happening. They're saying they don't want people in town on this date. This one is a water truck. They are doing that for all those who want to be nuisance cow. They're entering Harare CBD, looking for those looking for trouble. This is a warning. Okay, that's a support unit truck there. All right, so Chitungwiza is where I stay. I haven't heard any speculation in the streets, even though I'm rarely in the streets. But if something is very, very unpopular or popular, I should have heard of it wherever I am. However, just one pass through of these guys here is enough to spark fear, as we could hear those guys speaking in the background there. Now, what ZDF meeting was happening in Harare CBD? There was a ZDF Youth Assembly meeting going on in Harare CBD. Before we go there, we saw this. Hope you want to make a post on x.com. Hope you want to make a post on x.com. Let me just put it on the screen here. He posts one of the images. This is the image he posts there. We see a military truck there in the Chitungwiza area. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live right now. Can you confirm if you can hear me loud and clearly? Can you confirm if you can hear me loud and clearly? So what does our opposition want to write here? He writes, this is real time in Chitungwiza, St. Mary's Township, as Zimbabwean dictator, he calls him a dictator, displays a high levels of paranoia. Mnangagwa has turned cities into military zones, banning public events, including music shows. He prepares the Sadc summit. Since June 16, he imprisoned 78 pro-democracy activists, including a woman with 1-year-old baby. Mnangagwa has jailed almost 100 activists. Last week, his Secret Service agents forcibly removed 4 activists from a plane bound for Victoria Falls and severely tortured one of them for 8 hours, to the point where doctors fear a permanent kidney failure. The situation in Chitungwiza Township is now alarming and reflects the repressive measures Mnangagwa is willing to take to maintain control, turning cities into military zones and banning public gatherings of the Sadc summit is a clear violation of Zimbabwe's rights to freedom of assembly and expression. The guy is illegitimate and running scared of his own citizen, violating the constitution. So, I think today I just went out once going to the shops at Zengeza 2 North St. Mary's. So I didn't come across any military vehicles or any ZRP support unit. However, ZRP support unit has been hosted at St. Mary's police station for a very long time right about now. However, if it was one pass through, just that one pass through, is enough to spark fear. Then at 6:30 or later on, we saw a publishing by the Herald Zimbabwe, which reads, ZDF ready to deal with disasters. I'm just going to read part of it. The Zimbabwe Defense Forces has realigned its human resources to actively respond to disasters. This would be responsive to climate change, which has become a consistent threat to state and national security. Commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General Philip Valerius Banda, said he was speaking at an interview ahead of Heroes and Defense Forces Day commemorations slated for next week. General Sibanda said the Zimbabwe Defense Forces has created a robust disaster management and response system comprising of different expertise from both proactive and reactive measures to deal with potential threats of natural disasters. He said Cyclone Idai in 2019 was an eye-opener for the Zimbabwe Defense Forces as it exposed the gaps in disaster response systems, which prompted the ZDF through Zimbabwe National Defense University to develop a master's degree in disaster management. The degree is now in the second year and will aid in filling the missing gaps in disaster response. And he is quoted, "Our responses to the challenges we face are informed by a thorough analysis of the environment and the other military organizations in the region. Again, we have reviewed to deal with both traditional and non-traditional threats as we go forward. The example at our university, we have developed a new degree program to cater for disasters," he said. So here we're seeing he's talking of natural disasters there. That is General Philip Valero Sibanda. Enough respect to those watching us live. You can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat. That's how I can see your names so I can give you my shout outs. And also to those who want to get loans, you are using, you have EcoCash or Net One, is it Net One's One Money? You can get up to $100 loan. If you apply for $30, you have to repay it as $36 in 14 days. If you get a $10 loan, you will repay $12 in 14 days. No paperwork, 100% via mobile. Receive the mobile money within 5 minutes. In fact, it is instant. So to those who want to be getting my loans into their EcoCash or into their One Money accounts, you can use the link that is showing in the description box below. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live right now. Queens, Ziri say, Bruce Mukande, how is it there over Maware? Enough respect there. Jason Lera, Remy Pipe says loud and clear. Thank you very much for that one. Queen and Queens. Cleaner says Tareño. Thank you very much for that one. Try More Gems says, let's start blocking the roads tonight. No, we don't do that. We don't do violence. People will die if we do that. However, we should look for alternatives. Zeli Shwe Ngwenya, how is it? Hilda Katio, enough respect there. And the try more urkuyenda. All right, so we are just citizens here. Me, I'm a citizen. All watching here, we are all citizens. What we wouldn't like is a situation where those who pretend to be leaders will be pushing people to doing things that they can't be doing. Anyways, today ZANU-PF was holding a youth league meeting. Here we see Emerson Mnangagwa arriving. Alongside him, we see that in that green is Tino Machakaire, Tinmak. Everybody's shouting EDF, EDF. The Tonga Kwaro song, reminiscent of the time we would see Mugabe leaving power. That is a clip there. We see the welcoming of President Emmerson Mnangagwa. We don't see a clip welcoming VP Chiwenga, but he was there in attendance. What was this Youth League Assembly about?
National Assembly Youth League inove ndio first National Assembly tabva ku election yedu ya 2023 hapo President Idi Mnangagwa vakawina zvine mutsinge saka mayouth ose Zimbabwe yese vauya nhasi kuti vauye kusangana nemutungamiri wenyika vachitaura maresolutions avo avakaita semaprovince nezvavanokumbira kuti president wedu baba vaMnangagwa vatiitire semayouth nekuti president vaMnangagwa vari kufamba nedonzvo rekuti.
So speaking there is ZANU-PF Deputy Secretary for Youth Affairs, Comrade John Paradza, speaking there at the ZANU-PF Youth League. Did we see the 2030 ED Anenga Chiripo here? It's highly unlikely because all the vice presidents were in attendance. All right. So this is what has been happening. So one of the people who is very active behind this is Tino Machakaire, pushing the youth. He is one of the people who have been vocal and pushing, not necessarily, I'm not speaking of the ED 2030. It seems yesterday we saw an article again where the youths were urged to stop making that slogan, the ED 2030 slogan. There. Big up to Nontando Nyati Trimo, Titan Gang, David Mapala, enough respect Dengoni, Hamuna Kwadi, says from La Coast Land. And the Leave My President Amy, that's lovely city map. Alois Mojani, I'd never seen a country which has campaigned for Sadc chairmanship like Zimbabwe. I don't know why that is happening. Sometime we know Mugabe was once. Trimo James says, Dr. Clarence, you sound very scared. I have a bad cold. I have a cold. I've been having a cold for a very long time. Obviously, should we feel threatened, we can be scared. Nothing is threatening me right now at the moment. Enough respect. Sorry, apologies for that. Rather, I have a bad cold. Watching from Kadoma, Wondo 1. Enough respect there. Anyways, those scenes of those vehicles are making way in Chitungwiza there. Maybe they were just passing through for the sake of just passing through, or maybe they were just passing through to send a message. However, just them passing through, it sends a message. Them just passing through, it sends a message. Let's listen again to the background audio. So that area near the road is the area where Job Scala stays in St. Mary's. Another one asks, Shiwenga ere. All right, to those who are watching us live, you can support TV7 Live for better programming. The EcoCash details are showing on the screen right about now. 073390967. For more details, you can contact me on WhatsApp on that number. 073390967 or plus 263 390 for better and more consistent programming. However, my inconsistency recently is because of the bad code that I have right about now. Thank you very much for that message. Say sorry, you'll be fine. Try more gems. If Munet Zime, Jiri say, enough respect to you there. Enough respect. Pick up to Pride Muroiwa, Alfred Kumalo. Yesterday we saw a message by Jacob, Julius Malema, not Jacob, Julius Malema. To those who want to be getting my loans into your EcoCash and your One Money, One Wallet, you can click the link in the description box below. I've put the link in the description box below. When you get a loan, we get $1 there. This was Malema's message speaking on Chiwenga, saying Chiwenga is now left powerless.
Of Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean youth must rise, because that nonsense will never come to an end as long as there is no unity of purpose against the tyranny, against the suppression of political wishes of Zimbabweans. So ourselves at Pan-African Parliament, at the AU, at Sadc, we have to have a political will to speak for the people of Zimbabwe. When it comes from us, it will have more weight than when it comes from Europe. Why? Because we're brothers and sisters. They will know it's a friendly fire. But Sadc, AU, South Africa, they are failing Zimbabweans because it's a bruskap. It's friendship. It's brother, leader, brother. When they meet, brother. And then when you ask what is the resolution, no one has taken any resolution. So you need a clear position from Sadc, which gives the timelines that by this time this should have happened. But otherwise,
this is Julius Malema there speaking on Zimbabwe issue.
Mnangagwa is going to come back, and he's got nothing to offer at all. So Chiwenga is done. He will not be anything. They used him. Chiwenga is no longer the most powerful military man in Zimbabwe now. They've weakened him. So
yeah, he's saying Chiwenga no longer the most powerful military man in Zimbabwe. They have weakened him.
Only the power of the youth of Zimbabwe.
Only the power of the youth. So the majority of EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, supporters is the youth. And we can see that with the youth there. In Zimbabwe right now, as of now, we do not have an opposition party. There is need to set up and organize an opposition party right now with new people, not people who would overtake a struggle, who would overtake a party like they did with the Citizens Coalition for Change. There is need for new people. MDC because we will see derailing and derailing. Right now is the time we should be concentrating on electoral reforms. What are we concentrating on right now? We are concentrating on even setting up an alternative party. An opposition party does not necessarily mean a party that will be opposing the ruling party, but working together for the progression of our nation.
Zimbabwe can change the political status quo, and the Zimbabweans have to know that we are with them.
Edward Takuza Bosha says, Dai Malema Ariye Chamisa. Chamisa, this is my assumption. I'm assuming that he has had a burnout. He has been strained for a very long time. He is one-man band, or we saw many men bending against Nelson Chamisa. However, what he can do is seek advice from other African brothers like Julius Malema there in other nations on how they can be running that. Of course, Julius Malema is a very robust political party there, even though they didn't perform so well. But their structures and their organization as a political party, they are very organized. Here we're seeing he's being vocal on the Zimbabwe issue. We also saw the Democratic Alliance speaking on the Zimbabwe issue. Over the past 3 days, I did look into the Sadc Tribunal. We did a video there where Botswana sometime boycotted the Sadc summit that was happening in South Africa. And also I looked into the Africa Union. Both organizations, the Sadc and the Africa Union, they are toothless dogs. They are powerless concerning our issues. They are more like ceremonial. They do not have any power. It is up to us, the people of Zimbabwe, to decide what are we going to do next. And there is something that we call internet activism or online protests. Protests don't necessarily have to be physical. We can protest our issues and present them to whoever is supposed to see them through online. Zimbabweans, we are not yet disciplined enough to do physical protests and have the discipline of not getting violent.
Including Zimbabweans who are here in South Africa. When there are elections, get into buses and go home. Go and fight from there. Because the humiliation that you are being subjected to here in South Africa is if you don't have your own homes. It's high time that you take it upon yourself.
It's high time that you take it upon yourselves. So we need to educate our people.
And organize yourselves. EFF is there. We can even sponsor buses. Ora.
All right, I'll keep repeating this message. Fellow Zimbabweans, when the time comes, go and register to vote. When the election date comes, go and vote. One of the ways that ZANU-PF rigs is people think ZANU-PF rigs, so they don't register to vote. When the election day comes, those who would have registered to vote, they do not go to vote. You should vote in your numbers. We should have 100% voter turnout. At least we should be having 85% voter turnout. Enough respect to the big 4L. Enough respect to Ntombi Zodwa. Zodwa says God is in it. Forward forever. Yes, God is in it. Lazarus Mabureni, Edmond Ruchocho. Chamisa played his part, to be honest. That is very true. That is very true. That is very true. And the Semuno Nyama Anoneta, especially, and Skuti Akaneta, that is my assumption. Chamisa mwana we ZANU-PF, Wainda Daro, and Nakudaro Ndiani. It doesn't matter kuti mwana we chi. What we need is a solution. Anything that will move our nation forward. It doesn't matter who the person is coming from. What we just want is somebody who has the interests of Zimbabweans at heart. All right. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live right now. LP Mashaba, Joseph Buititi. With that, I'm going to sign out. To those who want to support TV7 Live for better programming, my number is showing on the screen there. 073-390-967. 073-390-967. And to those who are using Econet, who want to be getting my loans, the details are in the description box below. There, you can get loans up to $100 US. Maxio Marvi says, Dr. Clarence, hello, how are you? Hope you are feeling Well, today, yeah, not yet. I think from the harassment that usually happens to me here, my immune system in English has to function, and because of harassment, I'm under consistent harassment, under consistent harassment from the criminals here. Those who be waiting for me, they rob my items, etc., and those things. So sometimes the immune system will not be functioning very well. Running about 200 ZANU-PF here or what? I don't think so. I think it is just some opportunistic, habitual criminals who will be after stealing and looting where other people are trying to be working. Ever since I was running a studio here, any and every car that came here was stolen over the past many years. And this harassment has been ongoing for at least 5 years. I have engaged the St. Mary's police, but it seems the guys have no action. They are not taking action. So very soon I'll be taking it to the High Court. I'll be taking all the guys involved to the High Court very, very soon. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live right about now. So now this is 7 o'clock. I'll be back again at 8:30. Enough respect. Thank you for watching Dr. Clarence TV 7 Live.